What's up, DC Geeks? For today we're going to be having a look at the DC Icons Rebirth Superman figure. The same one, in fact, that came in the 7-pack that they've simply just repackaged in a single carded format. The front of the package, all white, solid color, motif on the top. You have that classic Superman logo, figure number 28. On the back you see the only other figure in the wave is the Rebirth Batman figure. Hey, it's a pretty darn cool wave if you ask me, just a Superman and Batman wave. And on the side there you see more of the artwork from the packaging. But you didn't come here to look at the packaging, did you? You came here to look at Superman. Now, as a Superman fan, I can tell you that this is a Superman figure that I find myself impressed with on multiple levels. I do have my qualms with it, but for the most part, I find myself really liking it. I'm not gonna lie, even though I'm a big fan of Rebirth Superman, I did prefer it when they decided to give him back his red boots and put a little bit of yellow into that belt motif. I'm okay with there being no outside undies, but I just prefer the current Rebirth Superman look, and I was never really a huge fan of the shiny cuffs at his wrists either. Personal preference aside, though, we're going to have a closer look at the details. You have the red lines on the top of his boots sculpted right on there, all that muscle tone. You got that belt there with the diamond in the middle sculpted on. You got the S and it's raised. It would have been cooler if this was sculpted too, all the yellow in the middle, but hey, it's still a raised S, which is very cool. You've got the cape that fits nicely right there into the neckline. You've got that head sculpt. And the head sculpt isn't the worst. It's not the greatest. It's not the worst. Quite often the paint job is what will make or break a head sculpt. And really the spit curl, a lot of people don't like the spit curl, but if you just get the head nice and warm in boiling water and then put that S curl where you want it to be and then shock it with cold water, it'll actually stay as a spit curl. It doesn't just remain this strip of hair hanging down in his face. On the back, you clearly have the S on his cape, and then lifting it up, you got the back muscles there and his costume. Just a swell job, and it's a nice, soft rubber, this cape is. So if you're into, posing him in flying stances or whatever, this is going to work out just fine for you. I think it's that perfect mix of that soft rubber, because I'm not a huge cloth goods cape fan, because it never looks right tucked into his neckline. So I'm a fan of the rubber, but this is a nice, soft rubber. So yeah, there's that. Articulation for the Superman figure is going to be as follows. Head is on a typical ball joint and it can rotate all the way around 360. The head doesn't have much articulation in the way of being able to look up for flying and down. Not a whole lot. Shoulders go all the way around 360 and they go up about that high. Biceps 360 swivel. Double jointed elbows, wrists on a swivel and also on a hinge. You have that ab articulation with this figure as well as the chest articulation. You've got drop hinge legs right here, which is, I'm a big fan of the drop hinge. You've also got the ball jointed groin right here for the Superman figure. You got double jointed knees and you have lots and lots of articulation in those rocker ankles. So this figure has a lot of articulation. Some people aren't happy with the groin articulation that these figures have, and they're more of a fan of the DC Universe Classics articulation. I'm still on the fence. I haven't really used these for a whole lot of posing or action figure photography, so I really don't know yet. Only time will tell. But so far, I'm very pleased with the level of articulation that this figure has. Here we see the Superman figure in between a DC Universe Classics scale Superman figure and a regular DC Direct scale Superman figure. So you can see he's smaller than a DC Direct and even smaller than a DC Universe Classics figure. So if you're hoping to kind of slump him in with some of your DC UC, he will look a little bit dwarfed. So I wouldn't do it. I'd just keep him with the rest of your DC icons. Now, although for size and scale he won't look good with most DC Universe Classics, he actually is a perfect fit scale-wise for the DC Superheroes Doomsday figure. So until the DC Icons Doomsday comes out, you do have a Doomsday that you can pose him with in battle form. Now, before I end this video, I just want to point out that this was not the first DC Icons Rebirth Superman figure that I ordered for this video. Rather, it was this one. I ordered this from CMD Store, as with the one behind it, but this was the first one that came in the mail. And you can see here, you've got a nasty paint blop right on the S here. And then if you can notice here, the eyebrows are actually kind of off to the side. They're off this way, which is just weird looking. And I called the good folks at CMD Store, and they were like, hey, no problem. They sent me out another one right away, and they had a little peek in the package to make sure everything looked good and was right, and then they mailed it off to me, and they didn't even charge me for it. They let me keep this one and also mailed this one off to me because this one was defective due to DC Collectibles crap quality control. So yeah, big shout out to CMD Store, whom I order most of my DC Collectibles Icons figures from because they're located in Canada, and it's always cheaper to ship from Canada to Canada rather from a US retailer to a Canadian address. And with that, I think I've came to the end of this DC Icons Superman action figure review, so thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. If you appreciated this video in any way, shape, or form, please leave a like on it. Leave any comments you have in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you think you might like to see more of this kind of content. Hit your inbox, ding the bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.